Hello, and welcome to Our Connecticut Guard. I'm Staff Sergeant Carolyn Asselton. I'm here today in West Hartford with the 143rd Military Police Company, and on today's show, we'll spend some time with this unit and see just what these MPs are all about. Then we'll go flying with G Company 104 in Windsor Locks and visit with some airmen in East Granby and talk with them about their jobs here and overseas. Many members of the Guard find their military training beneficial in their civilian careers, and here at the 143rd MP Company, that's no exception. There are many soldiers here who use their training on the outside. Here's First Sergeant Sean Jones, a Hartford County resident and Connecticut State Trooper.
I'm a Connecticut State Trooper in the civilian world. And, as you know, military police and police work go hand in hand. A lot of my training that I do in the state police is similar, parallels the training of the military police. And I use that information and training that I have to help train my younger soldiers.
MP and civilian police officer, Staff Sergeant David Rosati, said his military training was advantageous in the hiring process.
They liked the fact that I was in the military and was in the military for such a long time. I brought a lot of skills, unique skills to my civilian job, which put me ahead of others that had applied.
MPs learn many skills and perform a variety of tasks while on duty, much like civilian law enforcement officers. Here's Sergeant First Class Mark Paczynski.
The scenario that we're going to be doing today is I'm a suspect in a controlled access area. Specialist Escobalis will be the MP on duty, and as I try to get away, he'll take me down and handcuff me.
All right, sir. This is a restricted area. You cannot come in this area. Come with me, please.
No, I don't need to go.
Sir, please come with
I
me.
don't need to go with you. I'm just going to go.
Get down. Get down. Stop resisting. Stop. I said, stop resisting. All right? Now I'm going to put little restraints on you for being Please do not resist. You all right? I just want to hurt you. Last time it didn't work that well. You know what? Give me the keys with the but that's all right. All right. Around. Let's do it towards the camera. Right now I'm checking to make sure there's no weapons, narcotics. And that's it. Turn your head. Move your leg back. Cross your leg over. Cross your leg over. Sit up. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Lift. And there you go.
As MPs, we pretty much encompass everything the Army offers. We do infantry tasks, we do law enforcement. When we're in cantonment or in garrison duty, we police, patrols, we check on buildings, investigations, accidents, burglaries, assaults, lots of assaults in the military. Basically the same thing your local police department would do. When in combat, it's a little more aggressive. We're combat fighting soldiers just like any other unit, infantry. We call in fire from the artillery. We call in airstrikes from the Air Force. We do ground assaults. Our specialty would be urban combat, fighting in cities and villages.
That specialty was integral when the unit deployed to Iraq for a year in 2003. There, the 143rd provided security, trained Iraqi police, and took illegal weapons off the street. Sergeant Rosati explains.
We were the police force in Baghdad. We had to restore law and order to Baghdad and provide a presence to show the people it was safe to come out from their homes to get things moving again. There was a lot of work in dealing with cleaning up different areas. We escorted the engineer folks down to rebuild schools and water systems. So it was a constantly changing environment.
Another soldier, Specialist Alex Wilde from Southington, tells us more.
We were stationed in Abu Ghraib, Iraq. There's just no explanation of what that town was. It was no laws, no rules. People did what they want. You know, it was just like the wild, wild west. I mean, it was just, it was insane. It was really, I mean, it was crazy. But we had to do a foot patrol through the town, and it was at night. Now, most Iraqi police officers, basically at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, that's the end of the day. So when we told these Iraqi police officers that we're going to do a foot patrol at night, they didn't want to go. They were like, no, I'm not going. Because they're afraid. They said, well, that's when the criminals come out. And we try to explain to them, well, you're the police, you're supposed to deter the criminals. So we did the foot patrol, you know, after, you know, encouraging them, you know, we'll walk with you, we'll work with you. And we walked through this one neighborhood at night, and the people, they came out of the houses, they started applauding, they started, you know, shaking our hands, you know, hugging us, and basically they felt safe. They were glad to see that the actual Iraqi police were out doing foot patrols at night, something they'd never seen before. You know, even though we were there to help them, it gave the community a sense of pride and safety.
The 143rd returned to Connecticut with all of its soldiers, 11 Purple Hearts, and some valuable lessons. Here again is Specialist Wildy.
The best part, a sense of accomplishment, knowing that I was part of something really big, and I was there to help liberate oppressed people, to know that hopefully down the road that they have a better life of what they had in the past, and to know that, you know, I helped them. Well, you know, whether if it was one person that I helped, so, you know, to know that they have a better life than what they had, and that's the main. That's the main thing, you know.
Military photographers and videographers play an important role in today's armed services, documenting missions and events for historical purposes. Here in the Connecticut Guard, we have our own, and not only are they capturing history, they're telling the Guard's story. In March of 2002, members of the 103rd Communication Flight Visual Information Section deployed to Qatar and provided photo support for the troops serving in Operation Enduring Freedom. Master Sergeants Linus Venkloskis, Mike Fennessy, Tech Sergeant Brian Turner, and Senior Airman Danielle Upton made up the Combat Visual Information Team from Connecticut. They were stationed at Al Udeid Air Base, where they worked for the 379th Air Expeditionary Wing. Their tasks ranged from aerial and alert photography to web design and video documentation. The airmen captured images of the base as well as of the wing's missions. They then sent them to the Joint Combat Camera Center, where they were processed and distributed to the Pentagon, Capitol, and Unified Commands. While in Qatar, 2 members of the team had their photography featured on the official Air Force website. The airmen also provided full media coverage of Vice President Cheney's visit to the base. After 5 months overseas, the airmen came home safely to Connecticut.
Things are good. We've been here quite a while now, 4 months. We're used to the place. We've gotten our system down good. We've accomplished some great tasks. Got to meet some great people, the Vice President, Defense Secretary. Had some USO shows. Gotten a lot of compliments about our work.
We're doing pretty well. Everybody in the shop is really coming together, and I'd say we're doing far better than I think a lot of us expected.
It's probably about 140 degrees, which is lovely. All the people that we knew before are gone, and we have new people, but they're mingling in pretty good.
We've pretty much become very confident in our jobs. We're going to walk away from here knowing a lot more than I would have learned in the Guard. Not to criticize the Guard or anything like that, but a week and a month, 2 weeks a year doesn't compare to 6 months of doing a job straight every day.
The changes here at Al Udeid that I've seen since we've gotten here, there have been quite a few improvements. The pools are open now, so people can go swimming if they can't get off base. They've put up a Baskin Robbins so people can get ice cream. They've started work on the tent that they're going to put the theater in, so that'll be nice. They'll have an indoor theater.
Since I've been here, I missed my parents' anniversary, my father's birthday. I'm going to miss my mother's birthday. As far as like physical things, I really miss the grass and trees.
I miss being able to speak to people I love and care about.
The only news we get is off the internet. Definitely my wife. I just can't wait to get home and basically start my life again. You know, I feel as though my life's been put on hold for about 6 months.
It's time to go home, but it's not bad. I'm starting to appreciate it a lot more.
This is no ordinary part-time job. This is something you can really get into because it's unlike anything else you do. This is the Air National Guard. Call 1-800-2GO-ANG.
I am an American soldier.
I live the Army values.
I will never
accept defeat.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough. I am the guardian of freedom
and the American way of life.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
The soldiers of G Company 104 Aviation here in Windsor Locks are excited about their jobs, and for good reason. The unit flies and maintains CH-47 helicopters, or Chinooks like the one behind me. Today we'll meet some members of the unit. We'll talk to them about their helicopters, their mission here in the state, and also about their deployment to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Yes, the Chinook is, it's used to be classified as a medium lift helicopter. Now it is a heavy lift helicopter. It'll hold approximately 33 combat ready troops. It has 5 transmissions. 2 heads, which is different from your conventional type of helicopter, where you have 1 main rotor head and 1 tail rotor. This it has 2 heads, and they spin counterclockwise to combat for the torque, which what the tail rotor does in a conventional helicopter. So it's, if you look at it, it's basically a helicopter that people say it's not meant to fly, but it does, and it does its job really well. We could carry 25,000 pounds. We have 3 external hooks. We specialize in internal cargo, external cargo, and basically that's its whole purpose. It's not an attack helicopter. It's not a utility helicopter. Being a National Guard unit, we have 2 missions. We have a stateside mission as well as a federal mission, which we basically just came back from deployment serving our federal mission. But stateside, we do a lot of training, so when we do get called up for active duty, we can do our job proficiently. And within the state, we get called for stateside emergencies, such as we will help fight fires from the air. Anything internal cargo, anything the state needs us to do, we'll do. When things like September 11th happened, our helicopters responded to New York City for the tragedy.
On a daily basis here, we provide the core support for the part-time pilots and crew members that come in to fly and train and be in the unit. So in order to have that infrastructure, you have to have a full-time staff. So when they come in to fly, we provide the training and evaluation and the infrastructure and what it takes to get these aircraft launched and recovered.
In February of 2003, G104 was activated for Operation Enduring Freedom. After a few months of preparation and travel, G104 arrived in Afghanistan to begin operations.
And we basically provided aviation support for the entire state or entire country of Afghanistan, being it mines or if we were taking water to thirsty soldiers. I mean, if in Afghanistan, because of the mountains, there's not too many ground convoys like there is in Iraq. Basically, everything is done with the CH-47. It's a big taxi, and it could hold a lot of stuff and haul a lot of stuff. There were 3 main missions that we did in Afghanistan. One would be a QRF mission, which stands for a Quick Response Force, and basically there were a certain number of helicopters that were manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what you would do if you were put on that shift, you would go out to your helicopter, you would go to a briefing, you would get a briefing, then you would go out to your helicopter with the other crew member and the 2 pilots, and you would pre-flight your aircraft and make sure that it's safe and ready to go. And then we would basically sit around and wait for the call. And if we got called, we would go do whatever mission have whatever mission that we were given, we would take and go do. Another type of mission that we did in Afghanistan would be resupply missions, and those would basically just be resupplying forward air bases with the supplies that they needed for their base. And the other type of mission that we would do would be your delivered operation, which we would be the offenser, and we would haul in the necessary equipment to the front lines.
We had everything. We did everything over there. We did external loads. We did internal loads. We carried pucks, persons under custody. Actually, Taliban, whether live or dead, we carried them, and that's what this aircraft does. This aircraft has a specific role for, again, external loads, internal, 33 passengers, fully combat loaded. We had 105s, 108 cannons, you name it, we did it.
After a 15-month deployment, all soldiers of the Company G 104 returned to the state safely. They were named the Outstanding Army National Guard Aviation Unit of 2003 by the Army Aviation Association of America.
To Afghanistan and came out of there Quad A Unit of the Year for Army Aviation and Guard. There was over 5,000 accident incident-free hours with the CH-47s between Connecticut and Pennsylvania. So it was a great opportunity to go over there and show what we could do.
But we did a lot of good over there. We moved a lot of stuff. We had a very successful tour. We didn't crash in helicopters. Brought everybody back,
I'd have to say the camaraderie and the helicopters. If it wasn't for the men and women that I work with every day on drill weekend and being here full-time at the facility, I wouldn't be in. And if it wasn't for the helicopters and the love for the job and the satisfaction I get from doing my job, yeah, that's the best part about it.
Several days a week, the soldiers at the Windsor Locks facility take the helicopters out on training flights.
Okay, yeah, today we're going to take you out on a training flight. We have, again, you interviewed CW4 Cooper Hastings. He's the IP instructor pilot. I'll be the flight engineer, and we'll have Specialist Leslie, who's my crew chief, and then CW2 Red Goose here will be the co-pilot. We'll be flying today doing a training route, and that's up towards the Massachusetts border, and then up over to Westover, and we'll do probably a simulated load, if not a real external load, with one of our training loads. It'll be a good flight. We'll give you a safety brief, and again, we'll have some low-level flight involved. We'll get you some good pictures, and you'll get to see pretty much the airport from the air, the facility if you want to get some pictures. But again, this is a typical training flight, what we do, and this is what makes it successful for when we do get deployed.
We were able to ride along with them on one of those training flights and saw firsthand what the flight crew does at work. It was an exciting flight, and it's easy to see why the soldiers of the G104 enjoy their jobs.
I probably would not be in the Guard if it weren't for aviation. I like to fly. They pay me to come here and fly.
Connecticut National Guard knows that its soldiers and airmen can't do their jobs without the love and support of their families. That's where the Family Support Program comes in. The program sponsors events throughout the year for the Guard families. Here's just one example. It was a hopping good time for the families of Connecticut soldiers and airmen when they got together for the 8th annual Breakfast with the Easter Bunny at Camp Rel on the last Saturday of March. Topping the breakfast menu was pancakes, bacon, and sausage. The kids colored, they played games, made picture frames, colored eggs, and then joined the Easter Bunny for some photos. Then it was time for the main event, the Easter egg hunt. Separated by age, the children waited in anticipation to fill their baskets with thousands of candy-filled Easter eggs that covered the ground in front of them. When the signal sounded, they all hopped to it, and within a matter of minutes, the kids gathered every last Easter egg and then rewarded themselves with the sweets inside. Thanks for joining us today on Our Connecticut Guard. We hope to see you again next month.
Looking for a part-time job that'll help pay for college? Consider one that can do that and a lot more. The Air National Guard. We've got the Montgomery GI Bill and a special cash bonus that can help get you through college. And training that can put you on course for an impressive full-time job. The Air National Guard. It's money for college and fuel for your future. Call 1-800-2GO-ANG.
What I like about the National Guard is I can be, gung-ho and go out there and do, really awesome things, stuff that, civilians, wouldn't understand. And then I get to go home and, put on a pair of jeans. And I wanted to be a civilian and then turn around and be a soldier.
Defend freedom. In the Army National Guard, you can. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.